There are tons of secrets that the government has that most of us will never know about. There's Area 51, there's nuclear launch codes, and hey, why were the classified documents found in President Biden's former office hidden from the American people until after the midterm elections? Now, that last one may soon be revealed as lawmakers are pushing to confirm who actually told the National Archives to hide this from us. Do you believe that they have a logical explanation for this? More unidentified flying objects or UFOs continue to get shot down over our airspace as officials continue to demand accountability from the president. Wouldn't it be funny or maybe even scary if we somehow found out that they're now shooting down actual aliens? But nah, I'm guessing it's more like surveillance ships from either China, maybe other countries. And speaking of shooting, Ukraine has just shot down the possibility of any talks of peace with Russia. Are you guys ready for this war to continue on? Comment a quick yes or no on that one. Now, before I continue, please take a second, drop a like for the video. I really appreciate that. I'm seeing more suppression of facts online, so I would totally appreciate it if you guys help me out in getting these updates out to the people. And if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to what's really happening in Washington, D.C., Social Security, SSI, SSDI, government subsidies, global happenings, the state of our economy, the stock market, the housing market, and everything that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also make sure your notification bell is turned on. And if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. There's a link down below in this video. Now, if you told me back in 2022 that we would be fighting UFOs in 2023, I would have told you that you're probably smoking something. But 2023 is here, and would you look at that? We're now shooting UFOs out the sky. Now, I kid you not, opened up my computer and like 4 of these articles just jumped out at me. Let's start with the one over Lake Huron as US fighter jets shot down an unidentified flying object. Now, the shape was said to be an octagon and flew close to some of our Department of Defense sites, according to the Pentagon. Now, I don't know if this is another distraction, but here's what we have. Now, they're also saying that they're calling these things objects and not balloons for a specific purpose, probably to not rile up the people that China may again have been behind this. I don't know if they're really behind the first one, but now this is the 4th time in 7 days that our military has taken down objects in North American airspace. A National Security Council spokesperson said that, quote, "These objects did not closely resemble and were much smaller than the PRC balloon, and we will not definitely characterize them until we can recover the debris, which we are working on," end quote. And I know that I joked about shooting down UFOs, Men in Black style, but we did shoot down an unidentified object tracked by NORAD over Canadian airspace. It's odd that they would shoot down something that they don't really know what it is, though. And it's kind of like the most expensive way of doing that too, isn't it? Anyway, it was described as cylindrical, kind of like a blimp or, one of those alien spaceships that we might see in movies. But here's what Anita Anand, Canada's defense minister, had to say.
Canada was tracking a high-altitude object over central Yukon. The object was flying at an altitude of approximately 40,000 feet, had unlawfully entered Canadian airspace, and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. The Canadian Armed Forces with the RCMP will recover and will analyze the object.
Do you guys agree that we may not get more information than that and that they'll continue to locate and shoot down these objects without really telling us where they're coming from? Or will they instead provide us with information about them as soon as they're done with their investigations? Keeping the American people in the loop. Let me know what you guys think on that. Both Republican and Democratic lawmakers are demanding that the Biden administration be as transparent as they can be about these flying objects and give them a full briefing on what's actually happening in our skies. Now, I think that the American public should be informed of this, since I feel as though it is crucial to our own well-being. I mean, depending upon where you live in the country, it could be flying over your head. But let's be real, guys. We're not really told everything that we need to know. In fact, half the time it's not even true. And this is only amplified by the fact that the classified documents found in the Penn Biden Center have been hidden from us because of the upcoming midterm elections at the time. House Oversight Chair James Comer, he's saying that the National Archives were either instructed by the White House or the Department of Justice to keep this information from all of us. Emails are also allegedly showing that the archives secretly coordinated with Biden's personal attorneys to retrieve classified records. You guys are free to check them out as well, since it was a lengthy read and they talked about parking a lot. Now, while the emails themselves don't specifically say that they are to be hidden from the American people, they were also discussing it a day before the midterm elections and said emails were leaked through the Freedom of Information Act. Comer insists that the order to hide the documents were either given by Attorney General Merrick Garland Garland or President Joe Biden himself. In any case, it is not a good look for the president to be hiding anything from us as he prepares for 2024. Isn't it weird that there are more people confirming his run rather than the president himself? Here is White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre confirming it.
It's over. When are we going to hear the big speech, the Biden-Harris 2024 announcement?
So, as you know,
Real quick.
I am limited in what I can say. I can't talk about politics. I am covered by the Hatch Act. But what I can say is repeat what the president has said many times, is that he intends to run. I leave it there.
An opponent that many Democrats are wary of is Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And as you guys know, he was absent during a dinner that the president called as bipartisan progress. The president also said, quote, "I hope we're going to get I'm going to try a little bit less partisan and work on things that we can really get things done to change people's lives," end quote. Let's discuss some talking points if that's what they're aiming for. How about protecting Social Security, SSI, SSDI, SNAP benefits? How about ensuring that our 401ks are also kept intact? How about national security? How about protecting our borders? Maybe focus on job opportunities here at home, affordable housing, tame inflation to a realistic number where consumers don't have to swipe their credit cards. How about getting a handle on the national debt? I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but how hard is it to agree to make our lives better? How about you guys? How about strengthening our military? What change would you want all lawmakers to implement with our everyday lives? Seriously, to be honest, waking up each day without worrying about our next meal, that'd probably be a good start for a lot of people. A little bit of much needed peace and quiet. Now, speaking of peace, a senior Ukrainian official has said that any peace talks with Russia are now out of the question. And this is after the latest attacks on their country, which included at least 100 missiles shot in one day. They add that only Ukraine's victory will end this war. Wow. Now, at the same time, their president, Vladimir Zelensky, met with JP Morgan Chase to talk about their private capital to help build their nation or rebuild their nation. According to Zelensky, quote, he said, "We discussed the creation of a platform for attracting private capital to rebuild Ukraine, as well as promising directions of large investment projects in Ukraine, in particular in green energy, IT, and agricultural technologies," end quote. What do you guys make of this? Are the billionaires and elites planning to leave the United States and migrate over to the Ukraine if the Ukrainians are able to pull off a win with this war? Should we expect this war to just keep going on? And what about rebuilding the lives and livelihood of a lot of American workers here at home? Now, on that note, even with the state of our economy as it is right now, we have to keep going. It's not easy, but I do have some ways on how we can make it back to financial freedom that we once enjoyed a few years ago. There's opportunities opened up by budgeting, investing wisely in the stock market or in real estate, heck, even in gold. In fact, if you want the best way to invest in gold today, there's a link in the description down below this video. Now, there's also the advantages of having increased cash flow by creating side hustles and small businesses. Now, if you're willing to do the work and you want to completely turn your life around, feel free to hit me up in the links in the description down below. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. But before I go, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up for the video and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys watching. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next video.